What is it about communication that speaks to you so deeply?
I think it's interesting, Michael. I had the luxury of growing up in the 80s and 90s where 90% of our communication was either face to face or it was on an old school telephone that was attached to the wall, right? There was no digital communication, that wasn't an option. And so, because I grew up that way, it just became something that I became good at. And today, one of the things that I see that organizations ask me to do more times than not, actually, is to come in and tell their younger employees. I'm a big fan of this upcoming generation, but to tell their younger employees, yeah, they do have to pick up the phone and call people because they're like, I can send an email, I can send a text. That's easier for everybody. I'm like, you can, but they won't connect with you that way. I learned growing up that you connect when you can see people's facial expressions or when you can hear the tone in their voice. And so when we do conversations like you and I are doing now, where we can see each other's facial expressions, Michael, we have a much better conversation than if we were texting back and forth. You can pick up the nuance in my nonverbals, in my tone. I just think communication is something that you could do and practice your whole life and never master. You just get better and better at it. Or you can do like some of the underperforming younger people are doing today and decide not to do it, except digitally. And they are going to put a ceiling on their career. And so, in order to help them bust through that ceiling, I train them to have the confidence to have the type of conversations that will actually make them more successful in their job. Because we do business with people we like, know, and trust. And the only way we can build that level of rapport is to get face to face or at least get voice to voice, because there's something in the tone that allows people to connect in a way that digital will never replicate.
Lots of us spend lots of time talking with people over Zoom, in person, or the phone. What was it? What was different about the way you talked, or the environment you were talking in, or the way you were brought up that was a training ground for you versus a just a thing that you did and you weren't gaining mastery as you went?
Yeah, I think it's like anything. We can't. John Acuff, who's a friend of mine, he's an author and a speaker. He says, stop comparing your middle to someone else's end. Like, we want to look at somebody that's on a stage somewhere that's giving a talk and think, I could never be that. Well, not today, because you never stepped on a stage. But today, you could have a conversation with somebody on the bus on the way home. Or you could have a conversation with the person who takes your order at the coffee shop and ask them a question or two about themselves. It starts with those little baby steps. And once you start doing that and becoming confident in speaking with people, then you just get in front of the room to lead the meeting and you're speaking with a couple more people. And then next thing you know, you're maybe on a stage if you like it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But every time we get better at communication, we can level up our job. Because the people who are not great communicators, they don't necessarily want to level up, or they sit there mad about the fact that nobody's asking them to level up because they're not great communicators. So communication is something that is key to anything that you're doing. I don't care what your job is. Becoming a better communicator will make you better at it.
So are you saying then that you weren't especially studying communication, you just did a whole lot of it, and that became a study in its own?
Correct. I did not study communication. I did go to college because you can't be a police officer in Kentucky till you're 21. You graduate high school at 18. My public school math said that means I had 3 years to kill. Might as well get a 4-year degree. So I went and got a degree in police administration with a minor in Spanish. There was no communication classes in my professional training or anything like that prior to getting hired at the police department. But once I became hired at the police department, the better I could communicate with people, honestly, the safer I was. If I was reading body language, if I was interpreting things that weren't being said, I could do my job better, which means I could be safer and I could keep other people safer. So I got a 20-year training in reading body language, in asking good questions. In the DARE program, when I was teaching 5th and 7th graders all day, every day, for the school year, I was on patrol some of the other days, but when I was teaching 5th and 7th graders, I learned very quickly, If I'm getting quizzical looks back from them, if they're looking kind of like a German Shepherd and you're holding a treat and they give you that head tilt and everything, if they're looking at you weird, you have to replay what you just said because maybe you didn't say it in a way that they could understand. So that taught me to read the audience, read the room, see if they're tracking with me. When you're leading a meeting, when you're communicating with a group, you should be looking for people nodding their heads. You should be looking for people smiling, laughing at appropriate times. If you don't see that, it means you're not connecting. And so communication is a give and take. And so we've got to, with no intentional training on my part, it was training on the streets. It was training in the DARE classroom. It was training in front of a camera, giving media releases to the local news. It was those types of on-the-job training. And then I got trained as a hostage negotiator, and it just kicked this up to the next level. It just made me realize that I can actually talk somebody out of ending their life or making a bad situation worse. There was definitely officers on our SWAT team that were great at the use of weapons. That was never something I was great at. I could do it. What I was great at was communicating. And so I used my communication methods to get them to a point where they didn't have to use their weapons. That was the ideal. That I talked this person out of whatever it was they were doing. And I loved helping people that way. I loved using my communication superpower to keep a bad situation from getting worse.